Welcome to Make Your Money Matter. I'm your host, Brad Barrett. I'm also a managing director and partner here at One Capital Management. I'm here each and every week to help you better understand your finances because after all, your money matters. Friends, today we're going to be talking about a few important topics around Roth IRAs, some how-tos, some basics, and I talk a lot about this with clients. And for those of you out there who have IRAs and maybe even Roth IRAs or maybe a 401k or a Roth 401k, understanding how to use those are really important as you build your wealth in those asset classes. And then ultimately, when you go into retirement or ultimately go to use them. But before we get started on this week's show, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single episode. All right, let's get into it. You might have heard me say this statement before. It's not always what you own, but how you own it. And I'll talk about that a lot today, especially around the Roth IRA concept. And here's what I mean by that. You know, a lot of us like to talk about the next stock that's going to hit or the next, investment. That's great. Hoorah, rah. But wouldn't you want to know the most efficient way to own that said stock or position or investment you might be doing? So using the advantages of Roth and using specifically tax advantage retirement savings vehicles such as IRAs are important. Not paying income tax on the gains, allowing bigger pools of savings to compound. This will all result in more retirement income or more income when you need it. So let's spend a few minutes talking specifically about Roth IRA and tax rates here in the United States. There's a correlation here that I think would be really great for us to understand. Roth IRAs are tax-favored financial vehicles that help investors to save money for retirement. Roths are different than traditional IRAs in that contributions cannot be deducted. So a traditional IRA, it can be deducted. In a Roth IRA, it cannot be deducted. However, qualified Roth IRA distributions during retirement are federally income tax free. I said it, federally income tax free. So for those of you watching who have a Roth, who know this stuff, it might be rudimentary, but it's important to remind ourselves of how to use it. For those of you who've never heard of Roth, this is really key to hone in. You might be saving into a 401k right now that has a Roth feature. You might have your own individual business and set up an individual 401k. You might want to add a Roth feature to it. So think about it this way. When you put money into a Roth, your current year's contribution is not tax deductible. It's made, the contribution to a Roth is made with after-tax dollars that have already been taxed. And as you invest those contributions, the Roth provides tax-free growth for the gains. Then best of all, when you're ready to begin taking money from the Roth, in retirement maybe, when you're ready to take money out of the Roth, its income is federally tax-free. So this feature creates a huge advantage to Roths, especially if you're of the opinion that federal income tax rates are going higher in the future because future higher tax rates won't affect your retirement income. One thing I want to say here, please keep in mind, although Roth IRA income is federally tax-free, in some situations there are subject to state and or local income taxes. So you need to check on that and make sure, obviously, when you talk about anything with regards to any investment or asset class, Roth or IRA, it's really good to integrate. You're planning with a CPA or a tax attorney. A Roth is subject to the same contribution limits as a traditional IRA and have the same catch-up features. But one thing I want to share very openly, and I talk a lot about this on our dinner events, is there's the two C's, I call it, when it comes to Roth. There's contributions and conversions. And I think a lot of people get those mixed up. So on contributions, you are capped out. You as a phase-out limit. You can look up those annual limits each year. Depends on how much income you're making per the year. If you're married, head of household, married, filing jointly, or single, there's different phase-out limits. Conversion is unlimited. So people misconstrue those sometimes. Theoretically, if you had $1 million in a traditional IRA, you can convert it entirely to a Roth. I'm not saying you should do that, but you could. Now you'd pay income tax on all of that, but contributions have limits, conversions do not. Now additionally, Roth IRAs are not subject to required minimum distributions or your RMD. They're not subject to RMD rules. So you're not required to take money out of your Roth beginning at age 72, and you can continue to contribute to a Roth after age 72 as well. So as long as you have earned income. So it has these really cool features to it that adds another, bang for your buck as another, what I call asset class for your retirement. So if you're looking for a retirement vehicle with some powerful and I'll call it distinct tax advantages, make sure that you investigate the Roth IRA structure. I mean, there is an income limit. to a Roth IRA. So not everyone is eligible, but it's worth looking into. But it is a good strategy to consider. And I wanted to make sure we walk through a couple basics today around Roth versus traditional. A Roth is going in with after-tax dollars, grows tax-free, comes out tax-free as well, as long as it is qualified. And qualified means two rules. You are above the age of 59 and a half, and you've had the IRA for at least 5 years. So you want to make sure you hit those two as well to make sure that it becomes a qualified distribution, which therefore means it is not taxed. Again, everything around any kind of tax strategy or things like that, you want to make sure you suss out with your CPA or an accountant. And if you're working with an advisor or want to work with someone like us, we're able to integrate that to make sure that the left hand is talking to the right hand. But until next time, always remember, make your money matter.